One of the only gripes that I've had about the interior of the Model 3 is the glossy black center console. For a long time, I've wanted to do a black satin console wrap so that it's not picking up all the fingerprints and little scratches and smudges and dings. And even after just 6 months of use, my glossy center console has all of that stuff. You constantly kind of have to wipe it off to get rid of the dust and the fingerprints. And then up here, especially by the cup holders, there's all just sorts of little, imperfections now because it's the center console. You're constantly putting stuff on it, you're putting your drinks in, you're hitting them with, you miss while you're driving and you're just hitting this thing all the time. However, the reason I haven't done a center console wrap yet is because I'm actually really nervous about putting one on. I don't feel like I'm that precise and that good at the wraps and that kind of stuff to begin with. So about a couple weeks ago, I was contacted by a company called EV Armor, and EV Armor makes one of the more popular Tesla Model 3 center console wraps on Amazon. I looked at the video of how to install it. It seemed like it was easy enough to do, and so I said, okay, go ahead and send me one. I opted for the black satin center console wrap. Now, whenever someone reaches out to send me something to review on the channel, I also make sure that I get a second one. However, since there's 5 different colors, I wouldn't want to pick a color for Model 3. So we are going to give away an additional EV Armor Tesla Model 3 center console wrap. If you're interested in that, let me know down in the comments below, and then you can pick from one of the 5 different colors that they offer. So let's talk about the center console wrap itself. So this is $29.95 on Amazon. It does come in 5 colors. You've got black carbon fiber, black satin, that's the one that I got. You have black brushed metal, and then you have white carbon fiber and white satin as well, depending on the interior of your car. So it does come with 5 pieces, because there are 5 different pieces to wrap on your center console. You have the place with the cup holder. You've got this sort of pop-up one here that gets to this inner compartment. Then you have the front compartment. You have the little tiny piece that goes on the front of the phone charger. And then there's one more tiny strip that's way up here that I imagine is going to be one of the harder pieces to put on. This is all high quality 3M wrap films, and they seem like they've done a really good job at trying to simplify this as much as possible. Everything is properly labeled. Bottom of cup holder start here, for instance, and they also have scored the 3M paper so that you can take it off in strips. You don't have to try to line up the entire thing at once and then stick it on there. So there's one piece. Second piece, a little card insert with some information. Again, they do have a really good video on how to do this installation. I've watched it a couple times now. Third piece of vinyl. Then we've got the 2 smallest pieces of vinyl, and you also get a couple of extra things here. First of all, we have some wipes. I imagine this is for cleaning off the surface, all of these surfaces, before we actually apply the 3M vinyl. And then you get a little plastic squeegee, and this is good for sort of making sure that you get this stuff on there very nicely. They also threw in a bonus little card holder for your Tesla key. There we go. Got the card in the card holder. It's, I guess, for valet. There's a bee in my car. Get out of here. I guess that's for when you take it to a valet, you can just sort of put this on a keychain, and it's a lot easier than just having a card hanging around loose. That's pretty cool. All right, so as I said, I'm not good at this kind of stuff. The video did make it really easy. I'm pretty comfortable that I'll be able to do this, but there were also a number of comments on Amazon that were like, this is really hard to do. It's supposed to only take 20 minutes, but after a half hour I gave up and stuff like that. So we'll see. I hope it's easy. You guys will experience this for the first time along with me. And I guess the only thing left to do is just get started by cleaning off the center console. Okay, let's do it. All right, so starting with the cup holder piece, one thing that they stressed was to make sure that you take your time with the alignment, because the more time you spend on the alignment, the easier it's going to be for the actual deployment of the 3M vinyl. So I want to try to line it up. You want to kind of feel through the cup holder and make sure that you've got it about even top and bottom. And then we want to just put this extra tape, that sort of helper tape, off to the side here. All right. I've got it pretty perfect here. All right, here we go, now or never. So we're going to start by pulling off the first section. All right, so I'm using my thumbs first to just roll down over the side and then kind of getting that first piece on there. In fact, I'll use this little squeegee. I'm gonna lift this up and pull the next section off of here. And we're gonna lift it up and then use the squeegee, sort of start slowly pushing all the air bubbles out and getting that vinyl right onto the center console. Now I've got one air bubble already right here. Let's see if I can't get rid of that. And now I'm going to remove the helper tape, and it said to do it really slowly from corner to corner. Overall, I think I got it almost perfect. I may be about 1 millimeter to the left, but it's not bad and actually not really even noticeable. So I think taking your time on the initial alignment is key to success here. All right, first piece done. The only imperfections that I see, I actually got it on there pretty good. The only imperfections that I see are there's one little tiny bubble back here that I can't seem to get rid of. It might actually be something on the center console underneath, but luckily that's going to be covered up by the this part here anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. But where the creases were, where they had done the scoring on the 3M tape, or the 3M vinyl, that has a little line there and a little line right there. They say that you can fix any of these imperfections. Supposedly this 3M vinyl is self-healing with a hair dryer or a heat gun. So I think once I'm done with all of this, I will take a heat gun and see if I can't fix these little tiny imperfections. Okay, the second piece is going to be this insert right here. And I think we start from the top. Let's see, which one is it first of all? Bottom of top piece, so it's not that, it's this one right here. And we can see it says top of middle piece. Start here. And what you're supposed to do is just line it up to the front and then come down this way. So we're going to try that next. Make sure everything's nice and clean. It looks like it still is good. Now if you do screw a piece up, like I look like I'm doing on this one, supposedly EV Armor will send you one piece, no questions asked. Let's give that a little relief from the tension that it was pulling on. All right, I think I've got it. Oh, that's interesting. You can actually sort of overextend this thing. If I push down on the front part up here, I can actually overextend it a little bit higher up out here than it normally sits. This second middle piece did not seem like it was going well when I started it, but in actuality, it worked out. That one went on okay. All right, let's do this piece next. Okay, so all told, it took almost exactly 45 minutes for me to do all 5 pieces. The hardest one was this top piece up here. followed by the middle section. The cup holder was fine, and then the two small pieces were actually not that difficult at all. Even without the imperfections, which I took a little bit of video of the imperfections, I'll roll that now, but even with the little imperfections, it actually looks really nice. So I'm very pleased with it as is, even though, again, it was my first time ever wrapping anything, and I definitely messed up a couple little spots, but overall I'm happy with it, and I wouldn't be disappointed if this was the actual final product. However, it says that you can easily iron out any of the little wrinkles or creases or anything that you kind of screwed up. EV Armor says that the material is very forgiving in that regard, as long as you have a heat gun or a hair dryer. So I do happen to have a heat gun here. I'm going to put it on the low setting. And we're just going to experiment a little bit and see how easily we can kind of sort of smooth out some of these imperfections. I'm going to start with this piece here, because this piece oh wow, yeah, that does work pretty good. All right, yeah, heat gun for the win. That works really good. All right, here's the finished product. You guys can see there are some imperfections, like there's that little one right there, and then probably the worst spot is right up here. But again, I mostly attribute that to my inexperience rather than anything else. So this part was the hardest. 1, 2, 3 little imperfections. Luckily, I normally keep this up like this anyways, so I don't think that will bother me one bit. This piece is really the important one because that's the most visible, and that actually looks perfectly fine. I don't really see any imperfections there whatsoever. And then here we have this one imperfection here. I couldn't get out with the heat gun, but again, that's covered up by this part anyways. I just hit the mic. That's covered up by this part anyways, so again, not too big a deal. And then there's a couple little tiny pieces right up here on this crease that I couldn't get out with the heat gun, but other than that, for the most part, it looks great. So all told, it took me about 45 minutes to apply the wrap, and I spent another 10-15 minutes working on it with the heat gun. All told, you're looking at about 29 bucks plus an hour's worth of time for the EV Armor Tesla Model 3 center console wrap. And overall, I think it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think it looks good? Do you like the satin black? Do you think it looks like shit? Tell me either way. I'd love to hear about it down below. And if you want your own EV Armor Tesla Model 3 center console wrap, we are giving one away in one of the 5 colors that I mentioned earlier. Put what color you would like down in the comments below, and you will be entered to win that contest. We're just going to pick someone randomly at some point, and I'll contact you by replying to your comment or something. Okay, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please click subscribe. My name's Chris, and thank you so much for watching.